So what AI note taker are you using?
I think she's using the one that's just on Zoom.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Just that.
Yeah.
Do you have one that you prefer?
Oh,
This is my AI note taker I just got this weekend.
oh, that's
Oh.
cool. You wanted to show off your new shiny toy. I see.
Is it? I mean, what is it called? What service is it?
If I knew how to pronounce it, it's Comulytic.
Okay.
Comulyitic.
Sounds right.
There's several of these little note takers. Pocket is another one.
Wow.
This is the one recommended
That
by
is neat.
Wire Magazine. It's
Do you
tiny.
have like an account that you have to?
Yeah, you have an account. There's an app on your phone or iPad or other things.
And you just press.
I just
No.
press start and then we'll take. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna.
Wow.
Oh,
I just want to demo to
absolutely. I
see how
love
it works, and then I can just share the summary that it creates.
Oh, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
So,
Now that's a toy I might want to get.
Uh-huh.
I like that. How much was it?
at 129 on
That's good.
Amazon.
Okay.
And this one is the one positive about this than the other ones is it has, I mean, they all want to sell you a subscription. Just
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But this one, you can use it for free to a limit. And if you're doing a whole bunch of meetings, you're gonna have to buy it.
You have to pay for this.
And it's actually right now it's the lowest price at $15 a month.
Okay.
That's not bad.
I mean, because I'm not really using Zoom that much. It's cheaper than Zoom.
Absolutely. Especially if it's something you can just shove in your pocket or something.
Yep.
Well,
and bring
and
it.
it's so currently my iPhone, I don't have a mag. I actually have a brand new case that's mag safe. It's actually just magnetized right to the back of it.
Oh,
Wow.
And when it's doing this, you can actually record phone calls.
wow. That's pretty neat. Oh, sweet. That's pretty neat.
So I'll put it on there and say, okay, can you repeat that again?
It really is basically just, I mean, it'll summarize everything.
Wow.
And I've only tried it twice now, and it was not a good example. Like I said, I got it this weekend, and my parents-in-law came over and just had a conversation. So I just said, okay. Let's see what it, and the detail of the notes that it took were just amazing.
That's
Really?
awesome. Yeah,
That's incredible. Wow.
So
definitely. Okay, what am I doing? Oh, now
I
you
can
are.
go into meetings on autopilot and just nod and stuff and read the summary later. That's
Mhm.
I don't know about that. Sure, we're about taking notes in class. Just take that.
oh, that's the thing. Orderable, yeah.
Yeah.
And that this is a backup.
wow.
Yeah, she's one that I sit there and go through her notebook afterward, and she's got all of her notes color coded, you know, and it's like she'll, like her math classes and stuff, she'll have examples are one color and the instructions are another, and the formula's a different color. And I'm just like,
Like you're so much more organized than that. Yeah.
I know, I was lucky if I could read my notes when I was done.
Please tell me you eat sushi. Good. See, we're sisters.
Sushi sisters.
We're sushi sisters. I said, I'm gonna try something different and see how everybody. Yeah. Okay, now I know. I'm gonna do sushi, I'm gonna do tacos too or something like that. But it's fellas are like, mm-mm. Now, if I had some fried
My
chicken
dad
or fried
was about
fish or
the
something
other
wrapped in sushi, you guys would eat it.
Oh,
Some barbecue
come on.
bits.
Absolutely.
Barbecue sushi before.
Barbecue bits. Brisket bits.
There's your $1 million idea.
There you go.
Just thought of barbecue.
So when I retire, you know, I was successful.
Yes. I'm gonna be asking for a few dollars tomorrow. Like, can you donate to missionary? We were were there when the idea came to your mind. I feel like it was the vibe.
Yeah, they're like, there's part ownership in that. Yeah.
Those baby girls and yours are so stinking cute.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know they have got to be like super fun.
What age?
3 or about to turn 3 and 1. So
And every time your honey takes pictures of them.
she takes good pictures of them. She does it all.
They were so cute.
She does
Yeah, right on their little finger.
worse than you could imagine. That is
They
absolutely-
should. Yeah,
that's-
right. There you go.
It is so much worse than you could imagine. But yeah. We took them last night. So have you ever heard of We Rock the Spectrum?
Yes,
Okay.
I love that little place.
Yes. So we have a membership there. It's the one in Norman. And we go there and last night they had an Elsa and Anna, like a Frozen party or whatever, from like 4 to 5.
Oh
So we
my
went there and they
God.
got I think there were students at OU and like the theater arts department or something like that. I don't know, something along those lines. And they were being on and Elsa and stuff. So, oh yeah, they had a lot of fun with
We
that.
rock the
Spectrum.
It's a neat little place.
Yeah. It's pretty much just like a little play place. And they can run around, climb on everything. They'll never hurt themselves or anything like that. But yeah, it's a really cool place.
Inclusive play. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I love that place. I love
They have little calm down rooms in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's neat.
Well, eventually the rest of our crew will come. They always come. So, Doc, have anything going on? Any backups or anything? The traffic backup. You guys ready to? If so, Anthony's gonna slide.
We'll blame it on actually, right? The ODOT
Right,
representative here. That there's traffic. It's like, what are you doing?
So yesterday they were shutting down, they're taking Northwest Expressway down to a one-lane each direction
Ooh.
to do that bridge for the turnpike
For
expansion.
how long?
A year.
Oh, I'm not going over there. And that's where the Zaxby's is that I wanted to take my tail to. You want to go to Zaxby's?
Yeah.
Well, y'all won't see me over there for a year. Just for the heads up.
I know, because that's like, they said they were, doing turnpike construction for starting today, but it's supposed to go through into 27. And I was like, well, hopefully it's on the west side and I don't have to deal with it, And then when I was reading about it, yeah, it's right over Northwest Expressway.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh.
Sure enough.
they're adding lanes, and so they're doing support work under the bridges and everything, so they can have Northwest Expressway shut down.
That traffic is out of control
Could you imagine? I was like,
already. Like they need to expand the Northwest Expressway. And 10 lanes on each side.
yeah, Houston had the right idea, because I know I grew up down in Texas, and so I'm going to Dallas. Central Expressway, they would add a lane, and by the time they got, they'd start north and go south, and by the time they got down there, they'd have to come back the other direction. They had another lane going back up, and Houston was finally just like, forget it. They just bulldozed I-10 and just made it 24 lanes.
Yeah,
All the way through. They just,
And you need all of it. You
yeah.
need all of it. That Houston traffic is.
Is it as bad as
insane.
everyone says?
Oh my
Never had to
god.
drive around.
And then if there's not traffic and people can actually do NASCAR driving like they normally do,
Oh, God, yeah.
then you better know where you're going because you're not
Really?
you have to not get run over. You
Yeah.
have to go as fast as the traffic. So you have to know where your exit is because you can't see if you're going so fast. Like
Wow.
Yeah.
It's that
That's
bad.
good.
yeah, it was. And when I lived there to try to figure out where to go, when I first moved there, this was before you had. It was when MapQuest was out, so you could either print your map, or use a regular map. And you know, of course, I knew how to do both, and so I think I had MapQuest, and people were honking at me because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know where to go. I was trying to slow down a little bit, but I was about to get run over. And I just remember missing exits. And one time I got on the
Push you
side
out of
of
the way.
town
Wow.
and I looked at the police station. I was like, there's bars in the police station. Like on the windows and doors and stuff. And so I was like, I probably shouldn't be over here if there's bars on the police station. Like, on the
Police are
outside. So I told my cousin where I was at. She was like, yeah, just make sure you come out of there before dark. So, okay, you help me. I'm lost.
First time I was in Dallas, I had this little bitty 2-door. It was a Dodge Charger, but it wasn't like the current Dodge. It was
Yeah.
a little bitty
I
Dodge
remember
Charger.
the 2-door.
Like if I floored it, it flooded the engine.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, and I missed my exit to get on the Central Expressway and ended up in South Oak Cliff.
Oh.
And I'm sitting there like driving and going through this, you know, like people could just pick my car up and carry it off, you know. And I was like, okay, I've got to figure out how to get turned around. And I saw a cop coming back the other direction. So I like cut through this, it was like storage units or something, just floored it. Went through there, came in behind the cop and flashed my lights. And he looked at me like, what? And I was like, go. And he just kind of shook his head and he led me to the exit to get back on the Central and motion. I was just like,
He knew you were lost. I don't even have to get out. You don't belong over there.
I was just like,
and I told everybody about it at work. And so they were like, oh my God.
Oh, Carly. Oh, somebody's tired. I need to see you. You look tired. Bless your heart. He came in last time a little bit. You do. I love your hair. When you get it done, it's against the fabulous. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and open up. And Katrina's going to be absent today. She's in Chicago, but I'm going to record the notes for her and go over on her part. Okay. So what do you?
dab
Yeah.
one up. All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Okay, you want to do roll call, or how do you want to do this here?
Yeah, let's do roll call, and that way I can just write everyone's name down. So absent, I have Trina Washington. Present. Bryson. Kurt. Steve. Miss Maya and myself. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I guess our quorum.
Do we still need the password?
Yes.
Yes.
This-
Okay.
Just like a mama, I can hear takes it to go to my office. Okay. So establishment of quorum. I guess our normal quorum should be Katrina, you, her, Steve, Rebecca, Samaya, and our staff sorts. And so think what we need to find out with, what's the percentage of quorum that has to be present? Is it 80% or something like that? Percentage. Anyway, we meet that. I didn't know. I know there's a certain percentage that has to be present. Am I doing that right? Thinking of that right?
I think so.
Okay.
I think that's right.
Um.
And if it's not, then it's just postponed.
mhm.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay, so what I want us to do, I guess the first thing we're gonna do, I guess you'll do,
Yeah.
is approval, the motion to approve the minutes from last week, if everybody was
So we'll do, yeah, we'll,
51%.
51%. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
thank you, dear.
we met that.
Yeah, big time.
Okay,
Present for voting.
thank you.
Of directors, so it's not even of the total board, it's just 51% of the directors.
Yeah, which would, because it's officers for the positions.
Yeah,
So directors are all of you. Okay,
right.
that's what you're saying, yeah. Okay,
So
perfect.
that's gonna be my list.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
We put you to work. We all laugh. We do it. I said, oh, okay.
If y'all want to take a look at the minutes there of for February 2nd, flip through, make sure they're all. And then anytime if you anyone wants to make a motion to approve. Do I hear a motion?
I guess a motion to approve the agenda, then the minutes.
Yeah,
We're gonna get our process down.
we're gonna get it done.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Oh, motion to approve the agenda.
Second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? All opposed? All right, agenda's approved, but all minutes.
Okay,
With
now
the-
we're doing it.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve last meeting's minutes? They'll work it.
Sorry, I'm late.
Okay.
Okay, I said, was there a traffic jam? Oh, no, got him tied down.
Actually, yeah, right there, Broadway and 23rd.
There you go.
I had to take the back road.
There you go.
I'll make a
You
motion.
make a motion. All right, do I hear a second? All in favor?
I,
All opposed? Okay, go ahead.
ooh. What's the next thing on our agenda? Okay. All right, so the first thing is we did have, SC decided to, step down for, I just wanted to acknowledge her service for being here for the time that she was and just helping us with some ideas. But she has an overloaded plate. And so since we hadn't really established anything, we had a couple of people that reached out to us and said that her and Greg, they're all super supportive. It's just that the commitment that it requires for doing the school board, I think would just be a lot for them. So so she wanted me to let you guys know that if we need anything, that she is willing to help out any way that she can. But I think it's just making that commitment. And I don't know if we mentioned Greg last time too. And you guys probably got the email. I think he sent it to all of us to say that whatever you guys need, let me know. And so I wanted to acknowledge her and just be thankful for the service and commitment that she does have to seeing us succeed. So, our governance actions now.
Do we need a motion to accept that resignation?
Motion to accept the rest. That's why it's there, isn't it?
I'll make a
To accept
motion.
it.
I'll make a motion. Go here a second.
Okay.
All in favor? Opposed?
Thank you. So what we have next is the conflict of interest policy that Alex created. And it's somewhere, I should have these numbered, but you know, life is life. So it'd be good to get all the paperwork in here. We've got the draft 3 of the bylaws too, which we'll go over. The conflict of interest policy, yes. Page 100,000. So I want to give you guys just a few minutes because I just put this, I added this stuff to our agenda a little late. I do apologize. So if you guys want to take a couple minutes just to kind of look over it, if you don't mind, if you see anything that jumps out at you immediately, do you have a magnifying glass? Right, it's so small, I can't see it. Like, I can't.
She had kind of talked through a little bit of this whenever we had our bylaw training. Okay.
Yeah, this is what she talked.
So the only change is they add the signature line.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
for the conflict of interest, yeah, that one was pretty solid. She had done that a while ago, so.
Do we hear a motion to approve the conflict of interest policy? Still trying to answer the one, huh?
I'll move to accept the conflict of interest policy as written.
Do I hear a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Will we have to sign that with?
We are going to, I'm gonna do that as, since you guys approved, once we decide on who's gonna do what role, who's gonna be a part of the board.
Gotcha.
If you guys agree tonight, I'll send it tonight, so you can electronically sign it.
Yeah.
It's okay, everybody's okay with that. And then that way you can keep your own copy.
Gotcha.
All right. Get myself a note there, okay? So the bylaws, the third draft is done. I know we went over the training with Alex already, and this includes all of the things that she said she would have on there. She went through every bit of it step by step, any changes that she noted that she would add to that during the training are on here as well. Give you a few minutes, I think. I looked over and it looks like she hit all the points. that everything. you.
Thank you.
It's like in class with my students. I know y'all didn't read this for homework like
We've been trained on
Y'all
this.
15 minutes.
I was doing a good job talking over most of this stuff anyways. I'm just making sure.
No, no.
other things in there that we talked about.
Do we have in our, I didn't see it, this is an innocent too, but do we have in our bylaws, upon shutting down, that we give our, whatever assets and stuff we have to another school or another nonprofit organization? Or do we incorporate the state rule that everybody?
That would go to, she talked about that too. Let me tell you where. That's that.
One of the things the IRS.
Because like, for example, if we were a part of OKCPS and they were our arguments, everything would go to
them.
them. Mhm.
Yeah.
It would become the property of OKC Public Schools.
Yeah, which IRS just needs to make sure that if we shut down, that no board members or anybody keeps the assets.
Right.
You know, so it goes for charitable purposes.
Oh, that's a great question. Let me see where that is at, because I remember.
Because sometimes we put it explicitly in the bylaws, and sometimes we just reference that section of the statutes that references that. I can't remember the exact statute. But
It definitely needs to be. I don't know if it was-
I wonder if that's included under some of the stuff with the corporate compliance. Okay. 2.1.
Because I remember the covering it in training. Oh, yeah, I looked right over it. I think I didn't go back this far. Tax exempt corporate authority under promote purpose. Yeah. Operating the charter within charter schools in the state of Oklahoma. No problems. Corporate authority, the organization may do all things and perform all acts, a not-for-profit corporation under Oklahoma law within the purpose set forth in section 1.2 and within the requirements of operating charter schools in the state of Oklahoma. Did you make the assumption that it's there, or would you like me to ask her? Would you like for clarity?
yeah,
Yeah.
just to make sure
Okay.
Yeah.
that we have to address that.
Okay, let me put that on the down. Let's see it spelled out
Yeah, just
there.
to
Okay.
keep some compliance with IRS rules.
So that'll be pushed there.
Mhm.
And we'll be able to vote on that, you think?
No,
Okay.
because, yeah,
Then we can-
We're just gonna- yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. So I'm gonna take this to her and then we'll just, have to vote at the next.
Or is that something we could send an email out to everybody?
Can't, the
Can't do
voting is act.
Oh, okay.
No, Katrina can get away with that with NHS, but with the school, you cannot do that.
Okay.
Yeah, super transparent. Stating what happens to assets if. All right, so, but that's okay, we can still establish, a group because I think we have pretty good bones. We're a lot farther than we were. And the first day I came, I was like, okay, we're gonna vote for people. Everything was like, well, hold on.
Who wants to do
hold on,
what?
hold on. And then we're gonna get there. So, okay. And I'll ask her because we can identify an executive committee. I'm gonna ask her, because I'm still learning the rules for school boards. It's so different. So I'll ask her if the executive committee could probably do that or does the vote, because I don't think the vote for the bylaws has to be. Everything has to be public, don't I think?
Right,
Yeah.
I would think. that
I'll
probably
ask her to make sure to see. And if not, we just gonna put it on next.
Err on the side of caution, right?
Mhm. Yep. Okay. I don't know how, I just spelled bylaws. BYLWAY. I don't know what I was thinking. Layaway bylaws. I mean, just wrote it out. Just- Okay.
You do what you did.
Right. All right, so, with that, this meeting was supposed to be, election of officers. Do you guys feel comfortable with doing that now? I feel like we've met, we've talked about it. How do you guys feel? Now, here's the thing. I did promise that I would have the directors and officers insurance, but I'm still waiting for the insurance company. So I'm ready to pay for it. I was thinking that, even though I know we want to get ahead, since we do still have some time based on some other stuff we're going to share, I think that we should hold it off. That's just my opinion, because I want to make sure everybody's insured before we make that decision. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, perfect.
So
So,
just throw out an idea there. I'm with you. I wouldn't be comfortable electing officers, but maybe just take nominations.
yes, okay,
And that way next time you get,
we can just go through it.
yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. We had talked about this before. I self-nominated for chair months ago. I'll make that, now that we're public, I'll go ahead and self-nominate for chair as well on this one.
So I've got Bryson down for nominating for chair. Katrina says she's willing to nominate for secretary if nobody else wants to take it. We've got,
No one suddenly be jumping up at that.
right.
And I think I was being voluntold.
I'll nominate Steve then for treasurer.
We've got our lovely CPA here for treasurer, Steve. So I thought that would be the perfect position for him if he wanted to talk to you guys about that. And so we have governance chair, and let's just say this, governance chair is going to be just as involved as Bryson's position as chair. And so those are the two positions. Now, we don't have to fill those positions right this moment because we are holding the vote. But what I would encourage all of us to do is maybe find somebody we think would fit to come on the board and join us. And that's my stand. So, but I will say that Bryson thought that there was a certain person here definitely would go good for vice chair.
I see eyeballs.
With your consent, I would have nominated you. Absolutely.
Okay, that is fine.
Okay. There we go. We got a nomination.
All right, so our governance chair, I did have somebody in mind that she had to step down from several things, so we'll just be recruiting. I think if we had 2 more bodies on our board would be great. 2 more people, it's perfect. We don't need to be too many. So thank you. We got the nominations there. All right. Okay, so
Let's talk it over now.
Look,
Go ahead.
okay, so statewide charter school board, we did receive a rejection for the vote there. They offered us to respond in 30 days to do a revote for it, and there were some things that we felt like just choose my words wisely. So there were some things that we felt like we just needed some more time to work on, so that we could get back into the game at a later time. And so I decided, after consulting with Susan Baldwin and Feluke with Fuel OKC and Samaya and Bryson, who kind of our own little executive group here, we had a talk, and Anthony talked to him about some things on how to move forward, to send a withdrawal letter. So we withdrew our application from the state charter school board.
Well, and if I don't, just because I don't want you to get too far ahead down this path, but also the cohort that you didn't get, we didn't get accepted into. That was a big piece of it as well, because we got the denial of that, and then
the grant.
The grant. Sorry, the grant. That those kind of stacked on top of each other. So that was.
They did. So to get the denial, if we would have been accepted, Susan could have jumped us into the CSP. Okay. But to get that rejection makes it to where the CSP is just not possible for us. Okay. So that means that
for 2027.
For 2027,
right.
Yes. So that means I will be in the cohort for this year. I'm trying to get Samaya in there too. I've talked to Susan and them about how we could do funds to have both of us in there. But that means that we would start the cohort this year, and then the following year would be a planning year, and we would open in 28. And I think we talked about that at the very beginning, that could be a possibility, and I was fine with that, but we wanted to try to see what we could get with that, with moving forward. The feedback, I did attach the letter that they sent. Did I attach that?
It is, yeah.
Okay. So just why they rejected the school. We did have some there were some things that I felt that we could be stronger on, that we could work on. And then there were some things I felt like probably should have been first year planning. So I wanted to share that with you all. Also, we went to the second round for the Charter School Growth Fund grant and did not get that. We didn't get it because our projected opening year was a 27, and they won't pay for the planning year. So they said just to apply again this fall if we were going to open in 27. They didn't have a problem with our application. We had made it to the second round, but since we're not opening in 26, 27, then they need us to apply again in the fall for a 27 opening. So that was a positive thing. It's just that we didn't know we could do the year of planning. And my understanding is new, them giving seed money to brand new schools is kind of a new thing. And so I guess they're just kind of working out as they go along what they will and will not go for. So all of those led to the decision to pull our application. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm looking over.
I haven't read it, the whole thing in depth, but it does mention, and I understand why they would say that, but this Western Heights is, they're doing some things, and then in review of what we're doing, they're saying they don't want to duplicate those efforts. They outline what their efforts were, so we know what to try to avoid.
For Western Heights, for the Western Heights denial, yeah, I didn't even mention that one too, yeah. I don't even think I wrote that in here, but yeah, I just decided the last time at the Western Heights denial letter. I'm assuming they're career tech programs. But, so, yeah, the career tech programs would be my assumption. That's the only thing that I know of, having been an employee with Western Heights School District. I thought this was a positive letter from them, considering the last time we got rejected by them, there was pages of stuff. And rightfully so. Because we had no idea what the paper they sent us for the information they wanted. We sent exactly that information, and apparently they wanted more. We just had to find out what that was.
If I'm allowed to speak a little clear about this thing, some of the stuff that is in their rejection letter that, and Smiley, you might be able to jump in here too, because I guess we both texted with Tanya about this on the same day about the same thing. Some of the stuff that they included in this that I found interesting was some of the structure of the school. So things like the AP schedules, the 90-minute classes, the internships, all that kind of stuff. And just, they kind of outlined in this how they didn't like how some things were set up, didn't think we were going to be able to do it. And one thing I'm just curious to know if it's the reason is the flex spaces with OKCPS and what's coming there. Kind of, I'll just tell you, I was fortunate enough to be in some of the talks about this, what this was going to be years ago. And then I just kind of over the last couple months have heard, I guess, how they've grown. The idea of these flex spaces has grown and as it's fleshed out more. And it sounds like what they are wanting to do is a lot of what we were originally kind of looking at doing with some of that stuff that I mentioned previously. So part of me wonders if they didn't want us to do exactly what Oklahoma City is doing. And if that's just me speaking blunt, I don't know if that's what led to this decision, but if you see or you hear about what the flex space are doing, I mean, it is pretty much exactly with maybe a couple different things. It's exactly what we had planned in this. So, and that's going to be opening in October this year for OKCPS. So just if I'm speaking plainly, that's kind of something I think that we need to maybe ask them about. Or do you think we're being too much like what OKCPS is trying to do? And then if that's the case, okay, what can we do then to get an approval? So I say all that to say this, and I shared this with Ms. Moore already, but that's kind of why I like the decision to withdraw and maybe get a little bit more information about what can we do then? You know, what exactly are you looking for? How can we do this in a way that we get to that yes? That's why I kind of found it funny. it's interesting, some of the stuff they outlined is some of the stuff that one of the larger school districts in Oklahoma is going to be doing here. So just wanted to share that kind of with everybody here on the table. I know somebody, you got to also hear about some of this stuff too, right? They're at Douglas, they're doing some other stuff too. Sounds a lot like what we've mulled over the last couple of years. So So for those who don't know, I'll just give you generally, they're looking at these flex spaces. They're buildings built on, Rebecca, you might know this, is at every single Oklahoma City public school, high school campus.
It should be every single one.
And all of them have different career pathways that they're going to offer, I think, right? Like,
Yeah, well, some of them already have them, and
Okay.
so some of them might overlap. Also, like
okay,
Grant and Wisconsin also like both have construction.
right.
Like so, some of them have the same. But
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is what I was told. If you guys have heard something different too, please correct me if I'm wrong. But what they looked at was their design for like what a student was going to go through in out of Oklahoma City Public High School. Freshman and sophomore year, they were going to take their gen ed courses, their core classes, and then also be taking a pathway class if they weren't going to also try to do concurrent or whatever. And this is going to be like for construction, freshman year's construction 1, sophomore year's construction 2, right? And I think that was going to be for a large portion of their day, and it's just kind of introduced them into that pathway. And then come junior and senior year, that is, you can transition that into an internship, a career tech program, concurrent classes, and that kind of stuff. So very similar to the stuff that we've talked about here, right? And I think that we outlined that. To your credit, y'all outlined it really, really well in our application. But that's kind of what I'm wondering if they are just worried that we're not going to offer much difference than what Oklahoma City's going to offer. That's my
I was told at the end of it, why didn't read him at the will? That's what I was told. So here we are. But so we'll pivot. I do have some exciting news though. So we're not gonna we pull the application. Thank you for that, Bryce, and that was a surprise for us too to find out that had just changed overnight for those spaces. We talked to Anthony about a private school option, and I know we said to stick with charter, which we were going to do. We're still moving towards that. Staying in the cohort with Susan. Talked to Susan and Felipe about also considering a private school option, possibly starting it up and tinkering around with 20 kids or so. So myself and one other person or something, and seeing how that works out in a private kind of incubator, which means we'd have to do a whole different 501c3 for the charter. So I talked to them about that. They said they would be able to support that too, just to kind of see, whatever. So we talked about that. It would take 12 months to be at minimum to be accredited so that you could receive the funding, which ends up being more funding than Title I funds. If you get accredited, then you get more funding for a private school option to offer free tuition. Since then, I found out there's a school at Quail United Methodist Church. That's just an all-boys school. They offer free tuition and seem to be doing good with getting students to come to their school. So, because I know we were concerned about the elitism stigma that might come with saying you're a private school. So just wanted to put that out there. It's just like, it's a discussion that's just circulating in our heads. So I took the conversation to Miss Cheney. Everybody met Miss Cheney maybe once. And talked to her about private schools, that process and everything. We hung up the phone. 10 o'clock at night, she called back. She said, "What about Crenshaw schools?" And I said, "I drive by Crenshaw all the time. I never thought about Crenshaw."
K through 8, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Crutchfield Public Schools is a K through 8 school. They're their own independent school district. They've been wanting a high school for a while. They have possibly space out there. We have not spoken to the superintendent yet. I did take the idea, Cheney talked to me about it and said, this would be great out there in that area. And so I talked to Susan about it. Susan said that is a genius idea. She had been wanting to talk to the K-8s to see how we could get them a high school. And so it was kind of something circulating in her mind too. And so she's going to connect with the superintendent there. Feluke has agreed to be a support to talk to them. I was going to reach out to you to be a representative there. Like we can set up a time where we can all meet with the superintendent and talk to him about what it is that we could offer if we have a high school there at Crutchfield Public Schools and they be an authorizer. Susan said that she would be fully ready to support them as an authorizer because they've never authorized a charter before. And just to go over, it would be a lot of work, right, to see what that would look like to house a charter on their campus if that's the thing that we can do. But Brent Bushy was all on board for it too. And so he said, if they have building space, we're going to make it work. So that's a discussion that might be going out there. I hate to announce that out loud publicly, but we are going to have a conversation with them. So we don't know where that will go. But the cool thing about it is that it opens us up for other K-8 schools to have a discussion now that we're thinking about it. So this might really be the way to go, even if we speak to a K-8 school, let's say Crutchfield doesn't want to go for it, and you have one that's in a rural area. Well, and you connect with that K-8 school to be the high school, and you connect with all the rural communities around it, on the outskirts of Oklahoma City. So, so those are discussions that are in the works right now. So, and sometimes it's meant for you to pivot.
For sure.
Sometimes, and so
It sounds like you're kind of floating an idea, and it's similar to what the Academy of now Blanchard, I believe, and then what the Academy of
Seminole started Seminole
Right.
first.
And it's kind of what they have done, right? That's their niche. There's rural, they go to those places and then they have some charters. So
Yeah.
And I believe they're doing great, by the way.
They are.
I think that they're pretty they're pretty successful.
and he's one that who was it that
Is it Ren?
Ren Hopkins was the superintendent.
Duffy was the one that told us to reach out to. I was like, who was it? Which superintendent did we speak to that told us? So
John Rex.
Duffy and John Rex suggested that we reach out to him and speak to him. I did reach out. I just hadn't heard back, but I'm probably busy, so I'll have to do it again. I'll be persistent. So
So would that speed up the time frame at all doing Crutchfield for a K-8?
So that's where we would be too. Susan was like, I'm not sure. She said, we're still looking at 28. She said, but it depends on how the conversation would go, what resources are available, where it could be 27, right? Because then you're not scrambling like everybody else would be looking for a building, looking to get that building up to code, going, contractors and all that. You would be in an education zone building. And that eliminates a lot of the headache and time consuming process. Time consuming steps in the process. So that's out there. She's gonna reach out. She probably has. I hadn't reached out to her today, but today she was gonna reach out to try to connect with the superintendent, and then we're gonna have that conversation with him to see. So
Do you know the class size at Crutchfield? I drive past the school all the time. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it 1 to 18?
huh?
Was it 1 to 18?
Yes. So they had one teacher to 18 students. Yeah, great classroom
That would
size.
be a good place to
They-
start.
23%.
I like the sound of that. Yeah.
Since this new superintendent has been in, I think they've had 23% growth. And we know with kids who are way, way down, that is a huge jump. And so they're working over there with their kids. They've not been on the news. They don't, what I'm saying? Those things, yeah.
There's also a lot of land around them over there. And I'm kind of curious how much of that they own and if they're willing to grow and stuff like that.
and all of that, all things. So, currently, it looks like they're eighth graders. Eighth grade class is between 35 and 40 students. So,
Be a good place
so
to
that's,
start.
So that,
Right now, do they just go in Oklahoma City Public Schools or where do
when
they
they're
go?
done, yes, so they are, most of them have Oklahoma City addresses. But I think that a lot of them transfer into Midwest City because I think otherwise their school would be Star Spencer. So, I think they're opting to go to Midwest City, be transfer students to Midwest City.
Gotcha.
I did see where a lot of them go end up in Classing and Harding. So, but again, you're talking about 35, 40 students. So, so yeah, so I checked out the academic achievement growth, absenteeism. It seemed to be pretty average compared to everybody else, except for the growth, the huge growth in academics. So we would have to think about, though, how we would respond to, I guess, low reading and math scores, because they still are significantly low. Which that's going to come from any school in Oklahoma. We're number 50. So just about any school in Oklahoma, especially Oklahoma City. So that's really important to me, the interventions that we would have in place to make sure our kids can read and do basic math. Okay, so those are options there. Any questions, thoughts?
I think it sounds like a good idea.
Susan really liked Crunch On. She said, whoever gave you that idea, you need to take them to dinner. It was Cheney, so I texted her and told her that. She said, I like cooking real. It's all you can eat. It's all you can eat on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I'll see you at 5. So I'm taking Cheney to dinner on Thursday at 5, because that was her idea. And I said, you just forget about those little schools, but they have a lot of power,
Yeah.
right? Those independent districts.
I didn't know that we had K-8 schools around here.
Yes.
So and I was just trying to look up, I know Robin Hill down in Norman is another K-8.
Robin Hill?
Robin Hill, yeah, but I don't know anything about the school.
Sure.
I'm not currently a member of OPSRC, but I know there's other ones around. I don't know. I was trying to find other ones in the metro area.
So we never even thought about
We
going
didn't,
to K-8.
because we just kind of just stay within OKCPS, you know, the little major districts or the statewide charter school board. But now we can actually see how, here's the thing I told Bryson that I believe is true, that there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of work for everybody to do. I think it's a very positive thing that OKCPS is going to latch on to this idea. And for the sake of students, I hope that it all works out, that they would follow through with the processes, so that our kids, we're all working to make a place better for kids. But here's the thing that sets us apart, because if we're asked by anybody, so what's going to make you guys different? When parents move their kids from a public school, it's not because, not all the time that they're looking for the place with the best opportunities. The number one reason that they're moving their kids is for safety. So safety needs to be, I think, at the top, very top of our list. So sometimes it is for opportunities. I want them to go to Harding Charter or class and for, opportunities, but really there's a tone there that's for safety, right? I don't feel like my kid is safe. I don't feel like the education is safe for them. So I think that's what would set us apart. All right. Opportunity Scholarship Fund, that's not what that is. Oklahoma Public School Resource Center Fellowship. I have been asking, Feluke and Susan about Samaya and I joining. I discussed with Fuel OKC about fellowship funding for both of us possibly, and development support. So what Fuel OKC will do, if we could do the Crutcho thing, and it looks like we will be in OKCPS, serving OKCPS kids, meaning those kids, their addresses, most of them would be attached to Star Spencer. Doesn't matter where they end up going, where their addresses would be attached to. Then that kicks in for Fuel OKC to be able to give us some funding. So, and that funding is already set aside because they need a charter to support right now. There aren't any really new charters popping up for Oklahoma City. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so Feluke is gonna go with that conversation to find out, what funds are available when, and then how we would work this thing. Let's say if Crutcho did work out, they wanna do it, what they could pay for, which would be quite a bit. So just moving within the OKCPS district and chartering in that district kicks in those Fuel OKC funds, which we talked about at the very beginning, but we had forgotten because we had moved outside of the OKCPS area. So now that we've moved back into the OKCPS area, that kicks those funds in, which is a lot of funds and support.
I
Okay.
really like the idea of being out there. That area needs a lot of support, and it has a great support of the community, but the community has also taken over the school in ways that are not like research backed. And so I think having something that is driven like this to help students like our passions are will really help transform over there.
Yeah, I agree. It's a perfect.
Like I hear from my teachers and stuff that the students are fantastic, and if you can get them to like believe that you like them as a person, then they will learn anything from you,
Yes.
which is just like any other high school student. And that the hardest thing is the admin and the culture that is created from parent to admin.
Right. And that divide there has, to me, really has been what's caused education to decline in this state.
They don't trust them.
Right after COVID and just before COVID, they were doing this, creating a great divide between administrators, educators, and parents, and pushing the parents out of the school. And I know for my oldest son, I was in the school all the time. I was doing PTA stuff nonstop. And that school, kids were learning because there were parents in the school all the time, right? Helping and giving that support. And schools need that support. They need that extra support. I had a classroom mom, and she was like, well, when can I come in and help you? I was like, every day. Every day. You can come every day. I got something for you to do. She would come every day and copies anything I needed, helping the kids, inviting them up and doing stuff. And I loved that support, right? And so I'm not working against the parent. I'm an extension of the parent. So I think that that's really important to remind the community that education, this school is an extension of what should be going on in the community already. And so we're working with you, not against you. So important. Okay, Jay Jenkins. I think I put there's something here. Is that I feel like I forgot somebody something. Was it there? Looks like it might have been. Yep. Something, all these papers. Okay. So Jay Jenkins, for accounting, he did send me something, and I can just forward that to you guys because it was just for him to do our 990 every year, and then once we kick in as a charter, he would we'd have like a retainer of $1,000 a month or something like that. And then as the work grew or as the school grew, of course, that price tag would grow. But it still would make more sense to use, their service. They service most of quite a bit of charter schools already. So they already know how to do the work. And so they would set us up, all of our accounts and everything like that, get us set up. Even set a budget for us, because they do it for John Rex. They put them on a budget. They do their POs for them and everything, so that we don't have any funny money stuff, okay? So everything goes through them, through a budget. Duffy signs off on things and sends it straight over there to them, and they're like, a yay or nay, okay? So they handle all of that, and to me, that's important to keep us off the news.
Finances are probably the best way to do that.
Yeah, so you let the professionals do their job, and so if something goes wrong on their end, then it's probably going wrong with all the other charter schools. So so I talked to him. I was supposed to set up face-to-face meeting with him, and might ask him to do our 990 that's coming up, just to make sure I did everything right for the 990 EZ. We got our treasurer here though.
That's 990, is that the tax form?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So nonprofits have to do the 990. Right now, because we don't have, we're not over 50,000. I think it's just the 990 EZ still. Uh-oh.
Yeah, up to $50,000 is actually a 990N postcard, where you literally just say, "Hey IRS, I'm here," and that's all you got to do.
Yes.
There's still a couple of forms you got to follow with the state.
Yeah.
A solicitation form with the Secretary of State, and Oklahoma's have the tax form. But
Yes. And in Oklahoma's tax form with education, you can't do that until you are actually a school, like registered as a school. And so right now, we're just, for the state, we're just a nonprofit trying to become a school. Once we become a school, then the state will acknowledge us as such.
Yeah, then once you get like between 50,000, I think 250,000, you can file the 990 UC, and then when you get about 250 in revenue, then you got to do the full blown 990.
And he said that those usually start off with about $750, $800, which is really not bad, considering you don't have to deal with the numbers and everything. And you don't have to see the IRS come and shut your stuff down, so. Okay, so I talked about insurance. Alliant Insurance, Christopher Hayes is who I'm working with. I did try to reach out to him again today, and he's reaching out to the company that they're using. So once that goes through, then we can go ahead and vote for positions and solidify our board. Marketing, community outreach. This was for, I reached out to her, Songbird. She also does work for John Rex. And I put her information here. Okay, and then she just put the estimate, what it would cost. Possibly I asked her about doing press releases and media outreach, direct mail pieces, if you were to print and post. Because Oklahoma, come to find out, the best way to market still in Oklahoma is putting stuff in the mail.
I don't know what that says, that's good or bad.
So, so.
But then our reading, our standards are way down.
Right.
Like the pictures.
Nice shiny.
Yeah, pretty pictures just like
I love your school colors. Got my vote.
Oh, yeah, you're
Right.
doing those.
You have a nice mascot. Sparkly.
So, but yeah, to find that out, I was like, oh, okay, because I was talking to her about social media. She was like, actually, no problem. She's like, believe it or not. So John Rex does the mail out pieces, and they have more of a response than they do from social media. So I said, well, go ahead and quote those prices to us, and when we get there, we'll go for it. So these are the prices right now. Let's just say the conversation goes well and we're back on track for 27. This is what we would be paying to to do the marketing services, and I just think that this is what's gonna help to get us the exposure we need.
Yeah. It'd be great if we could get a grant to cover the initial.
Oh, I know, I know. And yeah, that would be lovely, wouldn't it? I did see the youth build grant. I know Katrina had asked about it, and I'll say this to put it on record, because she had asked me to look into it, and I did, but it's for places like OIC, if you guys know what OIC is, or Job Corps. So facilities that for kids, you're putting kids to work in the workforce that have been either kicked out of school or dropped out.
That's right.
Yeah, so it wouldn't fit our target group. Identify established committees. We're gonna do that next time. Okay. And are there any immediate priorities before the next meeting? Anything anybody needs me to do other than I'm gonna talk to Alex about the bylaws?
Do we kind of want to, does anybody, when you just look at these at first glance committees like this, have you guys kind of maybe seen a committee or two that you think like, oh, I think I might best serve in this specific committee? That might be worth it.
Yeah,
Any
and these
discussion?
that I have here were just ideas, and I forgot to change that. I meant to go back into my notes with from our meeting with Alex and change those, because she said the governance, finance, development, and fundraising, right? Executive. I think those were the ones. Okay.
Yeah, some of the organizations I've been on, once you get established, then you can, do maybe like a programs committee or something to kind of oversee, different programs and stuff that we offer and things. But yeah, I think for starting out,
That'll be good, those
Yeah.
4, and then
Yeah.
just kind of branch off from there. Because as we grow, then we'll have parents that can be on these committees
Sure.
and, all those things. But I think that the top 4 that she mentioned too were governance, finance, development, and executive. So those would be the ones we'll be looking at immediately. And remember, if you're heading up a committee, then you can get people you think would be good to serve on that committee. Because we're gonna have Mr. Anthony serving on a committee.
Which one?
I would like to personally see you on the governance.
I'm just reading that.
So.
And a lot of that too is it's so going to be predicated too on the route this goes, it's Crutcho and because if it's Crutcho, you feel like marketing community engagement might be a little bit easier than doing grassroots, kind of like how we were originally thinking.
Yeah. That's true. It would be a lot easier. Also, that could be that thing too, we talked about, Susan, like to partner with a K-8 school, and if you could be housed in their building, you're sharing the resources, and that helps them with cost. So you're sharing the payment for even maybe having access to transportation, things like that. So, yeah.
that'd be great. Yeah, if you could use their bus thing.
Can we put some gas in your?
Yeah,
I'll use
like-
gas money. I'm gonna give some gas money.
So with that meeting, if they're going to swing a meeting with Crutcho and their leadership and everything, will that be something that we'll all be able to be within that meeting? And the only reason I ask, because if not, then I think it'd be really cool to, if they see some interest, being able for us to go and tour it, maybe see it or whatever would be a really cool thing.
I would love for anyone, if we could get a date, far out enough, probably, it's 30 days from now, for everybody that can to be there. And even if you couldn't be in person, maybe I could have Zoom on my phone or something.
Yeah.
For you to chime in and to be a part of it. So yes, absolutely. I would love for, because I think the more of us that show up, it just tells them that, hey,
Yeah.
This is serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it, yeah.
so.
Absolutely.
So, any questions for me? What do you guys think about the private school thought? I know we talked to Anthony about it.
And just because we talked about, only on comment I had is just to make sure that going that route, we still arrive at a place where it still meets your objective for why you started this to begin with.
Absolutely.
And that was, I think, the essence of what we talked about. So I thought the public was going to get us there. If you think the private gets us there as well, let's go.
So is the private school kind of like a micro school kind of?
It would start off as kind of like a micro school, but we really want to be an established private school, and I've seen a few of them on the East Coast that are tuition free, that are schools, pathway type schools, and so if we were to do the private school, like the flexibility just would be. We could be totally creative in the things that we do. For example, 2-hour school. If you guys want the 2-hour school, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the 2-hour school.
2 hour learning.
2-hour learning, yes. And so they, right now, the wealthy pay for 2-hour learning at schools that they send their kids to, at the tune of about $50,000 a year, okay? So, so we can't afford that, but their concept is awesome. Because what their kids do, let's say, for example, a sports school, you want your kids to go D1. You want to see your kids somewhere where they're focused on sports most of the time, right? And perfecting their craft. So what they do, the 2-hour learning lab, I'll let you explain that part. I'll let you explain it because I'm always talking.
So basically, the first part of their day, teachers are known as guides with this model, and they have a program, AI driven, and the students go through the first 2 hours a day of doing their academics, and it starts them at where their level is. So if you're on a 5th grade reading level, 5th grade math level, that's where you begin, but you work like at your own pace and you work independently-ish, but then the person who's in the room with you, teacher, but they call them guides, are there to help support and motivate or like help you think strategically of like help you set goals of like how can you better meet the goals that you set for yourself to meet that. That's for 2 hours. They do have a high school one, and I noticed that they said that's 3 hours, and it is like research and science backed. I pulled that white paper. Have I dug into it deeply to see? Not necessarily, but it like there's proven results because they mentioned something like, for the sake of Oklahoma, because they care about, the testing, they have high scores on the NWEA. They use ACT and SAT for high school to determine that. And so after the first 2 hours of the day, or 3 hours, then the second part of the day, they do like passion projects and things that the kids are like really interested in doing, whether it's like entrepreneurship or something of that nature. And so with the sports, it would be sports. For us, it would be that part of like the pathways of whether they're in the construction part of the technology piece or manufacturing. So it just provides more space at the end of the day. So they're still getting their academics, but then they're also spending like a lot of time being engrossed in that part of the pathway part.
So it's kind of like a Montessori combined with the
Yeah.
pathway.
So I don't know if you've heard of Alpha School out of.
That's what
Yes,
it is.
yes.
Okay,
Alpha
okay,
is the
you're
same
describing
thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't. It's like, oh wait, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Alpha School has been getting a lot of news, and it's the studies that show that they score much higher
Much higher.
because the 2 hours is very intense.
Yeah.
And it's personalized so that it meets each student where they are and grows and the
Yeah.
adaptive, so that changes with them. Just as a case in point, Broken Arrow, I just met with Broken Arrow last week. They are actually doing a spin-off of, they're going to create an alpha school within their 20,000 students. They're doing a pilot program basically.
Wow.
Starting out in 5th grade. And so, and I'm thrilled that a
Yes.
normal public school is actually
Yeah.
looking at
That's
innovating.
amazing.
It just kind of floored me like, oh,
Wow.
okay, I want to come work for you. Actually, what I said is the guy who's leading it's like, how do I clone you? I need a bunch of you.
Copy paste,
Yeah.
copy paste.
I
Drop
would
you.
be curious of what that model looks like. 'Cause we do
am
need an
so
affordable
curious.
model. We
They're-
can't afford
So-
alphas. We need the generic.
We need the beta. The
Yeah,
beta
yeah,
version.
yeah.
Well, and they have talked about they want to get away from being just private. They want to turn it into a public school model.
So this is a program, it's already like a built software.
Oh, it is,
Okay.
yeah. And so
Yeah,
it's AI, it's the teacher.
Yeah.
AI is the teacher.
and I mean, they don't
This is the
have,
way we're going.
well, and
Wow. I would love to survey the parents when you tell them that. Yeah, AI is your teacher.
one
Yeah.
positive, negative.
Like in the truck
whichever way you look at it. Yeah. Teachers don't have to be certified because they're not really teachers.
Really?
They're guides. They are.
That just seems like a slippery slope.
I'm
no, that
just
is-
curious to know what it looks like. I don't know what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it feels like. Like I am curious. And so there is a school, well, you just said it. Like
Well, there is one here,
there's one here in Oklahoma.
Acton Academies.
Yeah,
That
yeah, I did
is-
see that. We can't afford to go there, but.
Yeah.
It's here.
So anyway, because
That's
it's the
That's in Norman, I
idea.
think, or Norman
Because-
area.
I mean, that answers their concern of like, how are they gonna meet their standards with how we set our schedule would be like.
Right, they couldn't see how our schedule would make sense. And I was like, well, it makes total sense because Massachusetts is number one. A lot of their high schools are doing the schedule, but I can't say that, right? Because then it'll be a little sarcasm.
Yeah.
So,
Massachusetts is number one based on scores.
yeah.
I actually have a friend who's in Massachusetts, and he is so frustrated because they don't innovate because all they care about is scores. Scores. They like that being number one, and all they do is just focus on test scores, to test scores, to test scores.
Truly.
Massachusetts, they got
Everyone's
like
better in the
16
middle of the
people.
spectrum.
The whole,
I just want to be like
the whole state is
die.
Right.
That's
Good point. That's a good point. Okay, move right along then. Number two.
First is too much
Or
25th in education, they won't put too much pressure on.
that's true.
Right.
Or we can just change our definition of
School
success.
success.
It not
yeah.
being based off that school exam.
Which is what we wanted to do, and so they had a
Yeah.
problem with the fact that we didn't want to do heavy testing, because it doesn't. If we do testing like the public schools here,
We won't know.
We don't. it just doesn't. The results
That's
are
what
just,
happens right now,
yeah, it just. So, but they said that best practice would be for us to do all of the same testing.
The literal
And
word.
I disagree
said-
wholeheartedly.
Literal words.
No child left behind.
Best practice.
So
Listen, the end of
so
the
if we
year-
go private, how much is this going to us?
a lot of it,
CSP goes away,
A
or,
lot.
well, yeah, getting approved. I mean, yeah.
except for the
Yeah,
support
yeah.
from Fuel OKC. They do have a branch that will help.
Do they?
A leg that will help with private school. But we don't have to do any of this red tape stuff. Basically, the private school, if we had the money, we could open up next school year.
Do you have to, though, is there a private school approval process at all?
No,
There's not a board, there's not a.
no, there's a board. You
A
have to be
governing board.
501c3, and then you have to have a board. Your board could meet online. You can be you're not subjected to the Open Meetings Act. There's just a lot of things that are different. It's super flexible in Oklahoma. The only difference is to get to the tax dollars that will pay for you. It's kind of a pay to play.
Mhm.
So
You pay
you
for like an accreditation.
pay for the accreditation. where you can play, right? So, so you can get the money, and that's really it. I do have a place that you can use, and like I said, it takes about 12 months. So for that 12-month period, for that first school year, we would need to figure out where the funding would come from. I did look into Launch OK. You have to do the same. You have to be, they can get the funds, but we have to be accredited first, and then we have to sign up for a membership with them, and then they can select us. A cool thing about Launch OK is that they could select Visionary Pathway Schools as a private school to send all their tax dollars to, right? But if I'm a public school, I'm in a big pot with everybody, and I have to apply for grants to get access to that money. So that's the difference between the private and charter. So Launch OK is for the public, Opportunity Scholarship Fund is for the private.
Okay.
And those are the
I
two.
told Rob, I said they can do, well, I want to see them on Tuesday.
Okay,
I'll ask some more specific questions.
okay, about the opportunity, yeah, so Opportunity Scholarship Fund, if we were to do private, is the one we would be accessing the tax dollars from. And you can choose your specific private school that you want your money to go to, so it doesn't go in a big pot. We just have to be a member, they choose us, we get the money. But because the public schools, now they have Launch OK, so that they can get some of that money too.
Okay.
Which I think is only fair. Parents want to give to their private school, like Douglas diehards, right? I want my tax dollars to go to Douglas High School. It doesn't really work like that for Launch OK. It goes into a pot, but at least if Douglas applies for the grant, then they have access. There's just more money in the pot, more opportunities for the public schools to access funds. So that's the difference there.
But if you're a private school, I could designate.
Straight to the school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was reading all the material. When you sent that information, I was digging, reading.
It had my attention. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Both of the curriculum and private school option just seems like a much better incubation period. Like, you know, I feel like that's kind of where we were stuck, is how do you get the building and then how do you just get off the ground? And so
Yeah.
both of these options.
Especially, that's a community that needs served.
Right.
And it
Absolutely.
needs like, it just needs people that are like, yeah, we're here with the tools to help you.
Right.
And Crunch OC is a very supportive and active school district. Because I follow them on Facebook. They're consistent with social media, and then they do lots of activities with their kids and their families and stuff like that. So super family oriented, community focused. So for their little bitty community, but it seems like they take really good care of that community. So
It's just something we deem very important with our school.
So definitely, we align in that area. So yeah, private school is just figuring out where you would get the money from in the beginning to sustain for a few years. We could start off with 25, 30 kids, 3 people. That's 10 kids each. We all could teach every subject. I'm certain the 3 of us, I've taught so much stuff over the years. I literally could teach, but we wouldn't even have to do that. We thought about if we did the private school, our version of 2 hour could be Edgenuity.
Right.
Because Edgenuity, you know how it's kind of fast track high school.
I mean, it wouldn't be anything to meet the students where they're at.
Mhm.
Like they're coming
Yeah.
to something.
Yeah.
Just start where they're at and then make the end goal graduation requirements.
Yeah.
It's not like
It's not hard at all.
it's not. It is like a science when you have so many of them.
Yeah.
But when you can work with 10 to 1,
Mhm.
that's really
It's a sweet
doable.
spot.
Yeah.
So even if we started off
Marketable,
small like that,
Yeah.
we made a connection. We thought that if we did private, we'd make the connection with ODOT and ALGC and make it just strictly infrastructure construction in the beginning, right? Small group of 30 kids maybe, and do it like that, and then have a connection with OU and like, hey, this is our pipeline. into what Anthony's doing, and then
Definitely,
then
that's
to
why I said,
OU,
sit down
and
and
then-
talk with you and
Yeah.
really see, like, okay, what is this pipeline you talking about?
Yeah.
Mhm.
so.
From ninth to
Yeah.
graduation.
So, and I thought between the two of you, internships would be an easy deal. Programming curriculum would be pretty much an easy deal when it
You
comes
get
to
a blank slate if it's private, right? 'Cause
Yes.
You don't have as much
a private is a blank canvas.
rotate.
Just make sure they get those graduation requirements and have somebody that does transcripting, which is not hard. I've done a little bit before. I think everybody's probably had access to transcripts. Not a problem at all. But yeah, you just submit the transcripts to the state. There's no fancy stuff. Kids graduate, they have jobs, they go to college,
Mhm.
whichever they choose, and that was my thinking. Start small and work big, work to get bigger. Just want y'all to know, we're working on that behind the scenes. How about that? Tuition free for our kids, however that works, so.
Mhm.
And, as I said, I don't mind knocking on doors, and then we were thinking about if we had a location. The Father's House has already offered their building for us, right? And so we can pay when we can.
Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Dollar a month, whatever you can pay.
There's
when we get
space,
there, so.
Zoom space,
Yeah.
there's.
Can I move in?
Right,
Got to give to me.
yeah, like, you name the price, that's what it would be. I was like, okay.
I don't even renovate it.
Right.
I got a list of stuff actually, so.
The ultimate vacation. We're learning now.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, you're like, like, I know he'll rent that building again.
I'm in school. I'm in school.
Yeah, it's cool. So immediate money for rent wouldn't be the biggest issue, just be making sure that the three people that are working can feed themselves and have the money, right, for working. And so,
Would they be willing to come to that first meeting?
Mhm.
The Potter's, is it Potter's
Potter's
house?
house?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
'Cause, I mean, if I'm on the other side of the table and I'm listening to your pitch, I want to see the person who's $1. I mean, it would just kind of validate that
yes,
whole thing, right?
yes, yes, and definitely, and they've always said,
listen, I just need to let them know.
Yeah. That would go a long way.
yes, would be.
It sounds
Goes a
great.
long way.
Really excited about it, but it's like, oh, too good
Too
to be
good to
true.
be true.
But if you're
Like,
here, you're telling me
That's
this.
actually a church,
Yes.
you gotta do what a church should do,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Right.
I think that's what we're here for, is to make our community better.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful. That's the job of human being. So, anyway, nothing else. We're good. Turned out to be a long meeting to not really get our officers out or voted on.
I mean, they're there.
I know.
Can't be good.
He's gonna
But I
cast
thought
a
we
vote.
talked about some good stuff.
Yeah.
And we're just working, this is what you guys know, we're working, and, I'm gonna go through the training still with Susan, I'm not gonna put all of our eggs in one basket, even if we do the private school. We've gotta find the money to hire 3 people, cause I'd probably be doing the cohort full-time, and then have Samaya, maybe steal Becca, if we could, roll her off the board.
Yeah.
And have some folks running the private school and doing that during the day. Just kind of, to me, it's just keeping our kids warm,
Yeah.
right? And so we're building up something that we can present. We can't turn the private school into a charter school, but we can put those kids into the charter if that happened. Like if that all went through, it was a success for the charter, then we could just make a charter, just make a new charter. We only have to change one letter in the name.
You said turn the S to a Z.
Yeah, turn one of theirs.
There you go.
And it's seriously, it's
What is
really
this?
that. Yeah.
Like, this sounds familiar.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's different. So, that would be it. All we would have to do.
I guess I'm still not stuck on this. I mean, but the things that are listed in this letter, do you need any help from the board or advisory thinking through some of these things?
No.
We just kind of just.
No.
Well,
Put it in your pocket.
there's
Okay.
a couple of things that I mean would be quick fixes on an application, but in essence, it is an interesting read if you go through line by line and kind of see some of the stuff they harp on. And if you don't take my word for it on the flex basis, just watch what happens. And I just that's the part that's interesting. So just kind of keep that in mind there. You read through it line by line, a lot of it harps on, they catch a couple of things like, oh, you put quarterly instead of annual meetings or whatever. And it's like, okay, or monthly meetings or whatever. And so it's like, okay, yeah, that's quick thing. A lot of it really hones in on the structure. And that's the part that I thought we were getting people excited about. It's like, look, they're learning something completely different. So you go through line by line, just look at that. It's interesting. It's interesting to read.
Yeah.
I'm playing Pokemon with her.
It's very clear.
You should tell
They don't want that.
Yeah. It's interesting to read.
Yeah.
I'd like to say, if you haven't
So-
looked through it yet. It's curious.
So no, and Susan and I are gonna work to make sure we have a really consistent application to make sure that before we present it to, let's say if Pressure decided to go with it, that if it needs to serve as the contract for them, that it's even more detailed so that all things legal. And so we were thinking about also, she said that there will be legal help if I do the cohort. There's legal assistance there, so they would kind of go over the application and everything to make sure that, all things are tight. So, so we have a 220 something page document. I mean, we got a good start. What I think is just funny is that where we're getting in on the thing and where Santa Fe South, Chris Brewster started with literally on piece of paper.
Really.
So, So when I think about that, I was like, he could do it with one piece of paper, just an idea, like, I just want to start a charter school, did it. So I'm like, I'm certain with our 200 and some pages, we're pretty detailed on how you can do it. So. That's it.
Want a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Let's go.
I'll be in touch. That's all.